What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bodacious Rant with Burn and Rye. We are now nearing the end of July, and with that being said, this one movie has finally come out that I've been looking forward to since it was revealed on, I would say, I know it was kind of talked about before the Super Bowl, but when the teaser dropped during the Super Bowl, I got super excited. And we are talking about probably the most anticipated movie of the year, Deadpool and Wolverine. Starring Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and a slew of other amazing actors from the Foxverse and Marvel Universe. So this is a non-spoiler review, everyone, so please do not forget to give us a like if you do enjoy the video. Ring the bell just to stay up to date with notifications, and of course subscribe just to keep growing the community and just be a part of this journey with us through cinema. We really appreciate you all for that. So this one basically takes place within a few years after Deadpool 2. They've actually were pretty accurate about it. And Wade is just, kind of in a slump, trying to figure out what to do with his life, and that's when the TVA from Loki come along and take him away to basically help save a timeline in which he deems himself Marvel Jesus. And that's when he just runs into Wolverine, and they go on a crazy adventure with that. Again, I can't give away too much, so that's about as much as I'm sticking with. And we there's always been that famous feud with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. I remember when I first heard about it, I'm like, is this legit? But then seeing them do stupid stuff to each other, I'm like, okay, this is clearly fake, but it works on so many levels. And seeing them finally work together after they've teased it since Ryan Reynolds teased it in the first movie was a long time coming. It's crazy to believe that Deadpool already came out 8 years ago, like in 2016. So that was an interesting year of movies, but yeah, I absolutely loved it. I think this is the best Marvel movies since I would say, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was great, but I was gonna say like the most epic one since Spider-Man No Way Home for me. Bern, what did you think about this movie?
This movie, beginning to end, was just pure enjoyment. I mean, if you're a fan of the Deadpool movies, you know what you're gonna get into, and if you really vibe with that sort of comedic, potty humor, very vulgar, very bloody and gory type of movie, then this one's definitely gonna be right up your alley. If those things don't suit your tastes, this one's not gonna change your mind at all because this one doubles down on a lot of those things. So, and I'm glad for it because yeah, this movie, now that Deadpool as a property has shifted, because of the buying of Fox by Disney. We thought maybe, hey, it being in the MCU, it might not be it might not have the teeth that the other two movie had. That's not the case. This movie definitely has a lot of teeth, and nothing changes at all. And in fact, it takes advantage of having that MCU connection in terms of the whole fourth wall breaking and what it decides to poke fun at, and where it decides to jab and stuff. So yeah, it just feels like Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool and even Hugh Jackman and Wolverine is just like it's just like riding a bike, like they're just on full go, and from beginning to end, it's just absolutely a fun time. Probably the most fun time I've had at the theaters this year. Not the best movie that I've seen at the theaters this year, but in terms of being there for like 2 hours and just having a pure enjoyment watching a movie, this one definitely hit that for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny how you mentioned like they took advantage of like Marvel's like all the jokes and stuff they've had. I was also say they definitely took advantage of the budget. This is easily, I think, the best Deadpool movie of the three. First one was great, and then the second one was great in some parts, but the CGI really was harsh in some others. I think just because they tried to go bigger, they did get a bigger budget, but you can only do so much with that. But they made a lot of jokes about the MCU budget, so that was great to see that come into fruition with this one. And like, yeah, I think you said it best that that whatchamacallit, that like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman working together was seamless. Like you feel like this is something that they've been doing for years together, and they really haven't been in a lot of movies together in general. So it's kind of nice that we finally got to see them partner up and have so much fun with it. We finally got a comic book accurate Wolverine for the most part, which was just something that was it kind of does take your breath away seeing in the theater, like, oh shit, this is it. And and the action, I think this is the best action of any of the Deadpool movies too. Just all the scenes that they were in it together, just like some of the best MCU action I think I've ever seen. Just so much came to what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it was, the payoff was really worth it for this one. So, but like Burns said, if you're not really fond of like either fourth wall humor or a lot of like super dirty and adult jokes, this is not going to be for you whatsoever, because thank God they doubled down on everything. I think because they knew they were working with Disney, they're like, we can't hold punches or anything. I don't know if I'm sure some people at Disney were like, we can't do that now. It's like, oh no, we're gonna do it. So with all that being said, I feel like this movie was a little long. I'm trying to think of where they could have cut it. I think upon rewatch, I'm gonna think of other places where they could have done it. It did drag on a little too much, but with all the characters that we saw in this movie, that paid tribute to not only the Foxverse but some other aspects of the MCU, I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 5. It is definitely worth it. I would say definitely see it in IMAX if possible, or Dolby if you don't want to, or just if you can, $5 Tuesday at least. Just, you got to go see this movie though. This is one of the few of the year that you can't miss in theaters.
Like if you're a Marvel fan, if you're a comic book movie fan, or even just a fan of Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, this is definitely a must see as soon as you can. Yeah, for me, this one, it's, I don't know if it's my favorite of the three Deadpool movies. I think they're all kind of like on equal footing. Where the other ones I think do have the edges is, yeah, like you mentioned, in this movie, it does feel like it does go on for a little bit too long. Like you, I don't know really where they could have cut or tightened up certain things, but I did feel it at the end of this movie, where it's like, okay, I really wish things would start wrapping up pretty soon here, but that doesn't mean I wasn't enjoying everything that was going on. I mean, like I said, it was wall to wall enjoyment for me, but yeah, even a good thing can overstay its welcome sometimes. So that was it for me, and I think the other two movies do have a little bit more of a focused and a little bit more touching emotional core at the heart of those two movies, where I felt like this one definitely felt like it was there, but maybe due to the length and due to the circumstances of how the story plays out, and injecting all these other multiversal things, it kind of got lost in the shuffle. I think in comparison to something like a No Way Home, I thought that movie did a little bit better in keeping the character focus. Outside of of all these other things that are going on, I thought that movie really handled the heart of it. And I mean, look, nothing can really compare to the Spider-Verse movies when it comes to multiversal storytelling. But I do think this movie did it much better than something like Multiverse of Madness, where this one does feel like it pays off on the things that it promises. And definitely when it comes to Deadpool and Wolverine, it has a lot of those moments that fans have been wanting for a long time, including a bunch of cool surprises that I don't think a lot of people would have expected. So yeah, look, this movie is, like I said, just a great time at the theaters. It's not the thing that's like, oh, Marvel's back. This one's gonna save the Marvel universe. I don't think that any movie's gonna really do that. To be honest, we've had some good movies since then that have done good on their own, and this is definitely one of them. Alongside, like you mentioned, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and No Way Home and a couple other ones here and there. But this is one of the more stronger outings for the MCU. I think I can say that comfortably. So yeah, this one's gonna be a 4 out of 5 for me. Also, I would put the other two Deadpool movies at the same rating as well, 4 out of 5, for various different reasons. They all just do something differently than each other. That I think this one's better here. This is better there. For me, it's the spectacle on this end, and I think maybe the humor for me in this one was probably my favorite. But I'll have to rewatch all three of them back to back to really determine that.
Yeah, like I said, for me the best parts were just the action, the effects, and I think the characters we see in this, I think they were definitely the most exciting. But again, we got Marvel H. Christ leading the way, so we're gonna get a lot of big moments and stuff here. So yeah, for those of you who did happen to catch it this weekend, please let us know what you thought in the comments. Feel like this is one of those comments, I'm telling you, please geek out with this. We'd love to get your thoughts with no spoilers though, please. Try and be as spoiler free as possible, because it did just come out this weekend. So I kind of hate when, as soon as a movie drops, that's when you start seeing spoilers everywhere, and that's what happened this week. So it was just like, oh my god, stop doing that. Wait at least a week or like 4 or 5 days after. But anyways, like I said, let us know what you guys all thought of the movie, and until next time, stay bodacious and keep on renting for us.
Absolutely, everybody. Be good, be safe, and as always, we'll catch y'all on the next one.